Welcome to Breaking Fears.
Hi, Fear Breakers. I hope everyone is doing well today. The video that I decided to make today is something I was thinking about as I was driving this morning. I was thinking about how it would be great to be a millionaire. It would be great to be wealthy. And then I started wondering, is that something that I can handle? Is that something that would change me for the bad more than the good? And I reflected on my life, and my fear is that, yes, it probably would change me somewhat to the wrong side. I'm not going to say evil or anything like that, but it would change my way of where I judge and how I act. Because I've noticed as I work and, you get older, you get pay raises and that stuff at the jobs you get, your class changes, and the people you hang out with change as well. And you tend to take on not only their behavior, but their thoughts as well. If you do not pay attention to yourself and hold yourself accountable for things. And that's why I say I'm a life lessons learned type of person. So I try to keep that in mind. But I'm not perfect, and I'm not the best with being able to keep the evil thoughts and stuff out of my mind. So, getting back to my thought that I was having this morning, I was thinking, like I said, it would be great to be wealthy, rich. But I looked and reflected on my past, like I said, as my pay change and stuff like that. And I noticed that I did change a little bit. Like I'll be driving down the road, and I'll notice somebody's driving in a old beat up car. I'm like, oh, they should be able to go out and get a new car. And it's not that easy. Or if I see somebody that has old tires on their car, bald tires, I say, oh, they should go out and get their tires fixed. Again, it's not that easy if you're not making the money to do it. And yes, I do know that because I used to be in those situations. And it's exactly how people state, do not forget where you came from. So as I sit up here and I reflect on that and I think about these things, and I stop doing that because of my life lessons learned. I'm afraid that if I did ever win the Mega Millions, or if I did ever become really wealthy or whatever it may be, that I think it would change me again. I was never wealthy. I was not wealthy, and I never won the Mega Millions. But as I stated, as my status changed with my jobs, I did notice my attitude change and my thoughts change, and the people I hung around with contributed to that. So, do I want to win the Mega Millions? Do I want to be wealthy? Some parts of me say yes, it'd be great, but some parts of me say it's not all that great. I don't think it's as wonderful as people portray it. It's kind of like the people when they jumped on that bandwagon with van life and leaving their jobs and all that stuff. They're like, oh, this is wonderful. I can travel the world and stuff. And now they're all trying to buy homes. They're trying to sell those vans. They're trying to find a new job because they don't have money anymore. And to me, like I said, to want to be wealthy, to want to be rich, or win the Mega Millions, whatever it may be, I know, just like that example that I gave you, it would change me and make me not who I would want to be and not how I would want to act. There's a lot of, I'm going to show a couple of clips that I had found of the past Mega Million winners. Not all of them ended up like this, but it's just one of those thoughts of, wow, they were broke, then they became rich, and now some of them are dead, some of them are broke. I don't think if you don't know if you never had money, you're going to end up broke because you don't know how to manage it. if you didn't manage, especially if you didn't know how to manage it prior to becoming, instantly wealthy. And for those that just can't handle it because of the pressure, people coming to you asking for money, blah blah blah, whatever it may be. Some of the people committed suicide, from what I heard, and some of them just ended up getting killed by the people that they knew. I just want to be a normal person. I just want to be me. I just want to be Rico and do what Rico can do and do what Rico can do best. I just want to live comfortable. That's all. So do I really want the Mega Millions? Do I really want to be wealthy? No. Well off? That would be nice. But with that being said, I would need to stay focused on being righteous. I would need to stay focused by living with love. I would need to stay focused and continue to ask and gain wisdom from God. That's what I would have to do if I ever did become wealthy, rich, or even well off. So I thought I'd just say that out and show a couple of videos, because I know a lot of people are like, hey, it'll be great, but there's a fear to it. And it might not be a blessing to win the Mega Millions. And it might not be a blessing to be rich. Just live your life, live it to the fullest, and do what you can do to make yourself happy. That's it. Don't go out there and buy things that you don't need. Buy things that you need. And then when you're doing good, reward yourself with something that you want. Because that's how I'm living today. I'm buying what I need, and I will buy myself something that I want when I think I did something good. And I think God rewards me with that want, because a lot of times when I buy something that I want, it's a lot of times it's not coming out of my paycheck that I use to pay my bills and stuff. It's usually some type of refund for my taxes that I didn't expect, a bonus from a job, a refund from, yes, and this does happen, a refund from something I bought, and then they realize that they overcharged me, and I'm like, okay, well that's weird because it shows the right price here, but they literally marked it at the wrong price, and that's happened to me. But anyway, instead of me sitting here rambling and stuff, I'll show you a couple of videos of the Mega Million winners and stuff. And I don't know. You guys decide, because I know everybody always rushes out to get the tickets. I rush out to get the Mega Million tickets when it's, and the Mega Million is like billions. But like I said, I always think, if I did win it, how many people's lives will I change? Not for the better, but for the worst. Because I would end up giving them some money, and they would go through it like it was an open faucet. Because again, they can't manage what they have today. How are they going to manage something, a big chunk of money coming to them? And then if you don't give it to them, they're going to be mad at you, and then they're not going to like you. Now you're going to be isolated from everybody that you know. And now you have to get with this other group of people that are kind of arrogant, but that's all who you can hang out with. And that is that you? Do you want to change to be that way? I mean, I wouldn't want to. So let me show you a couple of the clips that I found here. And I don't want to, again, don't get discouraged with them. It's just what I've seen and hear with a lot of people that win the Mega Millions, what happened to them. Like the big jackpots. And you can go online and look them up yourselves too, but I'll just show a couple of them. So enjoy.
When John and Lisa Robinson won a mind-blowing $528 million jackpot, they were already retired. At their winners' press conference, they told the world they were happy and didn't want to move out of their home that they'd loved for decades. But their peaceful home soon became a place full of stress when tons of media vans started camping outside. They were accompanied by tons of strangers looking for money. It got so bad, the police had to start patrolling the property permanently to make sure the Robinsons were left alone. They soon realized they couldn't live their normal life there anymore. They sold their beloved home and moved far away. Sure, they bought a beautiful $10 million lakeside mansion, but we still think they should have been allowed to stay in their old house. In the end, they didn't get that option. Most recently, Barbara Reddick went with her nephew Tyrone to collect her winner's check. But when the press asked if she had anything to say, she turned to her nephew and said, "I'll see you in court."
JC Ace Winners is going to court. I'm taking him to court. It was my ticket.
Why? Well, Tyrone claims that Barbara had bought the winning ticket for him as a gift. That claim was backed up pretty clearly because it was Tyrone's name that was written on the ticket. But after the ticket won, Barbara said she'd only put his name there for luck, and she never agreed to give him the money if the ticket won. Tyrone had already agreed to split the winnings 50-50, but Barbara wanted more than that, and as promised, she sued him. Tyrone agreed to take 40%, and Barbara got 60%. He says it's terrible to lose that relationship after being so close to his aunt his whole life. Aruj Khan, a family man who owned a laundromat, won $1 million jackpot one day. That's not even a huge jackpot like some winners get. But before he even collected the money, someone had slipped him a deadly dose of cyanide. The authorities only discovered this when Aruj's brother insisted that it wasn't a heart attack that ended his life. He was right. The authorities suspect that a member of the family was responsible. But nothing could be proven, and whoever did it is still free.
25-year-old Amanda Clayton from Detroit was no longer alive by the end of her spending spree. When Amanda won the $1 million jackpot back in 2011, it seemed as though her life had been changed overnight. However, her win quickly became controversial after the media learned that she was still collecting food stamps and benefit payments despite having won the lottery.
Detroit woman is now the second lotto winner in the state to keep taking food stamps after hitting it big. And Amanda Clayton, who won $1 million and took home a $700,000 lump sum. The 24-year-old says even though she now owns 2 homes, she figured she was still allowed to use a bridge card.
After being confronted about the behavior, Amanda had the following to say.
I thought that they would cut me off, but since they didn't, I thought maybe it was okay because I'm not working.
And shortly thereafter, she was charged with 2 felony counts of welfare fraud and was ordered to pay back the $5,500 worth of food stamps she'd received. While Amanda quickly paid the $5,500 back, she never got the chance to spend the rest of the money, as only 6 months later she would unfortunately overdose in one of her 2 homes.
He says she was tormented by the fame and the problems that came with winning the lottery.
What's the point of having money if you're not going to have happiness?
He says she didn't want the money anymore and bought things for her family and set up college funds for her children. He says she only had $67,000 of her winnings left.
Andrew Jackson Whitaker, whose life would change forever after winning $315 million back in 2002. Unlike almost everyone else in this video, Whitaker was actually quite successful prior to winning the lottery, having built up a net worth of over $17 million with the assistance of his construction company. And while this would imply that he was in a position to manage a large lottery win, this isn't what would happen. Whitaker instantly donated 10% of the winnings to churches, Christian groups, and spent a further $14 million establishing the Jack Whitaker Foundation, which provided free food and clothing for low-income families in West Virginia.
Obviously, you're doing God's work with all this money.
Yes, I am. I'm helping a lot of people, and I plan to help a lot more.
He then drove back to the convenience store where he had purchased the ticket before giving the clerk a $44,000 check, a $123,000 house, and a brand new Jeep Cherokee, which was followed by Whitaker buying himself a Lamborghini, in which he'd drive around his neighborhood throwing money out of the window. After flaunting this wealth, his Lamborghini was broken into, where thieves stole $545,000 in cash. However, this apparently wasn't much of a wake-up call, as his car was then broken into for the second time, resulting in the loss of a further $200,000 cash. Jack Whitaker's granddaughter passed away, his daughter then passed away, which was followed by a divorce with his wife.
And now you've lost your granddaughter, you're about to be divorced from your wife. Where does this ever end?
Leading him to state that he had lost everything.
I pretty much lost everything I
healthier in my life.
You got lots of money.
Money has never meant anything to me. You have to have money to exist in this world, but money doesn't rule the world. Money is not what makes people happy.
And that he wished he had never purchased the lottery ticket in the first place.
My wife had said she'd wished that she'd torn the ticket up.
Don't let money change who you are. Till then, see you later.